So what's one small thing that someone's done for you?
So one small thing that someone does for me is my mum always calls me when I'm having a bad day, feeling down, always cheers me up.
Oh, I know. One time I was playing rugby. My friend was about to score the try. I was next to him, but he passed me the ball so I could score a try.
One small thing that someone has done for me is help out with my 7-year-old daughter when I've needed someone to look after her.
Kia ora, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Charlie.
And we are the founders of Mad Like Me, the podcast.
A little bit about us. I've gone back to university to study psychology, and I quite like to blog about my life experiences.
And I am an event creator and community builder. I've been running a grassroots creative initiative called Make Your Noise for the last 2 years, and I'm also a musician and work in operations.
Mad Like Me is a podcast where we get guests from all walks of life and have informal fun conversations with them about their life experiences, where they can share what they've been through, and we want to really just destigmatize conversations about mental health.
We're recording our first season at the moment and we'll be releasing in March 2023. But we've already got big ideas for our season 2.
For season 2, we're going to be taking it on the road around Aotearoa.
And we also have this amazing social cause and movement that we want to bring along with us called One Small Thing. We really want to challenge some of the stereotypes, negative beliefs and discrimination that is held against people who experience mental distress. People feel that people who experience mental distress don't know what they need and are unable to make decisions for themselves.
There's also this idea that if you're experiencing mental distress, there's a moral failing involved and maybe you're not seen as a good person.
That maybe you don't add value to a workplace or relationships and therefore you shouldn't be able to access them.
The other thing is that often people seem to feel like you don't deserve basic human rights, like a nice home, a livable income, and equitable health outcomes.
We really feel that our project will directly tackle some of these discriminations and negatively held beliefs. While we're on the roadshow, we also plan to launch our social movement, One Small Thing. One Small Thing is essentially teaching people that you don't have to do big things to make big impact. In fact, the theme of the podcast for season 2 is what is one small thing that has greatly impacted your world. Look, we see Mad Like Me as the vehicle to directly connect with people, build communities and really drive these conversations to help demystify and dispel discriminations about people who experience mental distress. One Small Thing is the call to action. We're going to ask people to engage with these communities, with our social cause, to help improve the mental health and well-being of communities, people who experience mental distress, basically all of us.
Ultimately, we want to work towards ending discrimination through the power of storytelling and the currency of kindness.
So we've got a few outcomes that we want to achieve with this grant. We have the goal of achieving 1 million small things. What we will be bringing you as part of this project is a podcast, a live roadshow across 6 different locations in Aotearoa, a social movement to create a currency of kindness, a website where we can hold all of these One Small Thing submissions, and ultimately we will be using all of this information, all of these stories as a opportunity to inform decisions on tools and resources for those who experience mental distress. We also want to do some things like reimagine the QR code and make it beautiful as part of our guerrilla marketing strategy. And the website is really the home of One Small Thing and where we'll collect all these beautiful submissions. We're going to be building our social movement of One Small Thing by creating a TikTok channel where we connect directly with people on the street, asking them what is their one small thing. We're also going to be giving out promotional material at all of our shows. At the moment we're imagining postcards with the QR code that takes you to the website and asking our guests to write on the back one small thing that someone did for them, send it on, therefore moving the cause from out of the room into other spaces. Also, we'll be creating a marketing mail list, reach out to well-known figures to ask for their one small things, and basically just directly asking the people that we encounter through the podcast, on the street, to all submit their one small thing.
We're extremely mindful of COVID because I have an immune deficiency, I'm immunocompromised and high risk. In order to keep our audience safe, we will be asking people to mask and really encouraging rat tests and everything before people go to our shows. And in the worst case scenario, if we're not able to do the live ones, we will move the show online.
We know we're highly ambitious, but as somebody who's been running a show for 2 years, pretty much self-funded, with the communities that we've got, we believe that we can hit 6 cities across Aotearoa. However, the way that we've designed the project is that we can easily scale it back if our costs start exceeding what we've got allocated to us. Ultimately though, we have the best people in our lives.
Yes, we really do.
We've got artists,
developers,
sound guys, designers, marketing. We literally know all the people. We have a community of people who are already putting up their hands and are wanting to help support this project. The communities that we can best speak to and platform are actually the ones that we belong to ourselves.
women,
LGBTQ,
disability, and people who experience
mental distress. One of the communities that we feel the most strongly about and that we belong to is the community of Pacifica women. I am Tongan.
And I'm Ki Airani.
Well, we both are of mixed race heritage. One of the struggles that I've personally had in my life is not being considered brown enough to be brown, not considered white enough to be white, and not really having that safety of cultural connectedness to hold space for me. I know that this is something that many of us can speak to and feel. And what we really want to push forward is that ours is still a brown girl story.
We will use many different methods to increase understanding and acceptance of mental distress and to directly challenge discrimination.
Through the storytelling and community outreach of the Mad Like Me Virtual podcast, we're going to use methods such as persuasion, awareness raising. We will encourage people to reconsider their attitudes and beliefs that they hold about people who experience mental distress. Through One Small Thing, we will be building a social movement using social marketing campaigns and championing the impact of small things through whānau. We are creating equal status through the roadshow by uplifting the stories of those who have experienced mental distress so that they can be heard by those who may discriminate.
Doing things together and for each other is at the heart of One Small Thing. Mad Like Me podcast and One Small Thing aligns heavily with the Noku Te Ao Like Minds kaupapa principles. We feel connected to all of these principles, but particularly Tino Rangatiratanga and Mana Tangata.
We absolutely advocate for Tino Rangatiratanga, or the right to determine one's own life and choices. And this is a really core value of both the Mad Like Me podcast and One Small Thing. Mad Like Me is all about platforming the stories of people who have experienced mental distress and really getting behind the choices that they have made for themselves for their journey of helping and healing. We believe by sharing these stories on a wider platform that it will not only help ease those who experience mental distress, but help those who are around us as our supports to understand what we need and that we have the right of autonomy to our healing journey.
We believe in the power of whānau and what whānau and family brings and supports us in our journey, and we really want to empower these people to support their loved ones the best way they can.
We also really want to amplify the power of Tino Rangatiratanga on a macro level. We believe that through the website, everybody's submissions that they put on there, we will be able to use some really simple text analysis tools, demographic information to build a tool for impact. We will take all of that information of the collective and really better understand what are the most effective tools for impact and change.
Really, One Small Thing is Mana Tangata. It's all about the power of the collective coming together with all the small things that builds up to changing the world. We want to show people that simple acts of kindness can be radical.
And One Small Thing is a platform to inspire kindness as a habit and therefore become a measurement tool for impact. It'll be one small thing to change a world.
And a million small things to change the world.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video submission. We have a ton more information if you have a ton more questions.
So thank you so much from Mad Like Me podcast.
One small thing. Me is Jamie.
And Charlie.